Hi there, my name is Peter and I will be your commentator for this battle. As you just saw, I am facing a melee spam army with lots of Lone Sword Ashigaru and Katana Samurai. While I have my army close to balanced, but with some extra melee units that will come in handy in this battle. The enemy has the same cavalry as I do, but he is one Yari cavalry short, which will give me an advantage if I use my Yari cav properly. I was lucky to have the sword dojo spawn on my side of the map, since the enemy's army would have benefited from it greatly. This huge line of melee is going straight at me and I have taken position in the sword dojo. The enemy general has more men and units than I do and I have to be careful not to get encircled or attacked from the flanks or the back. If I have a bow cav unit, I'm going to start using it and try to get his cavalry to come out and play before his main battle line of foot infantry gets to me. This is because I have to try and take out his cavalry, so I don't have to worry about it later on in the battle, when he can use it to take out my general or hit my units in the back. He does not take the bait and moves his cav back, so now I press with my bow cavalry again and get all my cavalry with anti-cav bonuses behind them. His main infantry line is now much closer and I'm running out of time. I keep shooting at his units with bow cav and he shoots back at me with bow monks. Now you can notice that he has placed all of his Katana Samurai on one side of his battle line, while its Lone Sword Ashigaru on the other. I do have bow monks and start to take out his lightly armored Long Sword Ashigaru at his right flank, my left side, and even use fire arrows to take down their morale as fast as I can. But my time is up and his entire infantry line is now charging at me. Over on this flank he finally takes the bait and sends his Katana Cav after my bow cavalry. This is exactly what I was waiting for, as I now intercept his Katana Cav with my Great Guard and he takes a lot of casualties. The enemy general also uses his rally ability, but prematurely, as none of his units have suffered any morale damage yet. As my Great Guard is taking down his Katana Cav, he is converging on it with 2 Yari Ashigaru and 5 Katana Samurai. This is serious overkill and also a mismatch of units, as Katana Samurai are not a unit to use against cavalry. For in this flank, I didn't use skirmish mode on my bow monks and they got engaged in melee with Lone Sword Ashigaru. This was a mistake, but I will make use of this situation soon. My Naginata monks and katanas engage the rest of this Sword Ashigaru. Now back on my right flank, my Great Guard is holding a huge mass of units with only a few men left in their unit. This is where my enemy made his big mistake and spent time with many katana units taking out this Great Guard unit. I had to sacrifice my unit of Great Guard in order to buy me some time and prevent my army from getting overrun and surrounded, which is exactly what the enemy continues to try and do with his Great Guard and a Katana Samurai unit. I get a lucky break as the enemy doesn't have his unit's orders in time and I get a free charge with my Great Guard into both of those. Just like in a game of chess, I keep blocking his units and not allow him to get through my lines. And a great example of blocking is right here. This unit of Great Guard has held for a long time and prevented the enemy from advancing. And now they finally are out from the battlefield. The enemy continues to use his units to overwhelm my remaining Great Guard unit, even with a clear way to the middle and the flanking opportunity. He swarms on my Great Guard with 3 Katana Samurai, when the 1 Yari Ashigaru would have been enough. Meanwhile, on the other flank, I am going to use that mistake I made with my bow monks and get a flanking charge bonus with my no dachi into his shaking Lone Sword Ashigaru. Simultaneously, along his entire Long Sword Ashigaru line, all of his units chain route and I win on this flank. My Katana Cav helps out and mops up the routing Ashigaru. My units are now free to reinforce the middle, and the Katana Cav has other objectives. Now to go back to the right flank for some more cavalry action. My Yari cavalry is finally going to pay off, as it is going to stop his Great Guard from charging into the melee battle. We can see that the enemy still has many units out here and that his general is now in a standard fight formation next to the sword dojo. I failed to notice this and charge him with Great Guard. Instead I use this unit of Great Guard to charge his infantry that has finally reached my back positions. But the enemy quickly charges his own leftover of a Great Guard unit into mine and mine gets sandwiched. It is at this time that units from my left flank come to help the middle and save my general's life. Also on the left flank, my bow monks and bow cav have finally reformed and are adding their damage to the enemy's bunched up infantry. And those units are not even engaged in the melee battle, as the enemy has yet to give them orders. Notice that they are also exhausted. Now my Katana Care has a clear path to his bowmax and is going to make short work of the undefended bow unit. I should point out that once again I had a chance to charge his general in his stand and fight formation. But now I'm going too far with what could have been, and let's go back to the battle at hand. My Katana Cav is finishing off his bowmax and my Yari Cav is still fighting his Great Guard even with the support of a Yari Ashigaru unit that he has brought in. Mighty brave this Yari cavalry unit. Eventually I will pull them out of there. At the middle, my unit of Great Guard and a Katana Samurai unit are about to rout as they got surrounded and their morale is almost up. The Great Guard unit ends up routing, but the Katana unit does not, as it is in this moment that the reinforcements from the left flank enter the battle at the middle. Only now do I finally charge his general, first with the remains of a Yari Cav unit and then with a full-on Katana cavalry charge. They tear through his bodyguards and cut them down in moments, but the enemy now engages my Katana cavalry with a Yari Ashigaru unit and slows their progress down. With his general still kicking, it seems that I am going to lose this battle, as he now engages all the Katana samurai he has left into the melee at the middle. I am now heavily outnumbered and also lucky that he did not try to flank me. Now I decide to pull back with my Katana Cav and get another charge into his general, but I get a lucky break. As the unit pulls back, the horses run over his general and this battle might just be winnable after all. Now let's see just how much of a morale impact his general dying had on his units. All 6 of his units engaged in melee against me suffer a drop in morale, and now I have a chance to turn this battle around. He routs my bow units while I start routing his Katana Samurai, and I send my Katana Cav in a desperate attempt to slow his Great Guard and prevent his inevitable charge into my lines of Katana. My infantry might just pull this off while the enemy is chasing my Katana Cav with his Yari Ashigaru. Once he notices that he cannot catch up to them, he changes targets and uses them to attack my general in his own stand and fight. He even gets off a charge with them, but Yari Ashigaru simply cannot ever hope to match a general's bodyguards with upgraded melee and defense stats. Especially at dismounted bodyguards where Yari Ashigaru's bonus versus cavalry has no effect. I also counter them with no Dachi Samurai and defend my general from this attack. At this point I use Warcry ability of my Naginata monks just moments before that unit routs. It adds a significant debuff to the enemy's units whose morale is now critically low. And now for the final and decisive moment of this battle. Enemy general is about to charge me with his remaining Great Guard units, and just at the moment before that I turn my stand fight off and use the rally ability. It prevents my units from suffering a morale blow from his cavalry charge and they hold the line just a bit longer. It is now in this final moment that I hold my breath and wait to see whose units are going to rout first. My Katana Samurai unit wavers but comes back, and now his first Great Guard starts to waver. And then the other one as well. And now we have a rout! Another one! Come on, another one! Yes, another one! And soon we will have victory!
My lord! A glorious victory will soon be yours!